All right, we're live. Party time, excellent. Welcome to the second part two of setting up your front end. Um, I'm Marcus Nilsson, and I'll skip the Ask Me Anything stuff, and I haven't even put this Hangouts on air out there yet because I just don't want any distractions because I really want to make this work. So let's see, and it will be hard. I'll just say, like, setting up React for a beginner. Or me. We will need to go through some hoops. I mean, jump through some hoops. So if we change to screen share, you can see here. And hopefully I'll remember the font size on everything I do, because otherwise that sucks for you guys. Oh, that's the wrong project. Let's see. There we go. We have two issues from last time. Set up React with Babel and npm setup kind of go hand in hand. This here looks small. Setup with React. Setup React with Babel, that's kind of a lie, because we also need setup web or Browserify. There's also Browserify, and I can't tell you which one is better to go with, because it depends on the mileage might vary, or whatever you say. Like, go with Babel. I mean, if you go with Browserify, you go with the old classic dude that people have transitioned from Webpack to Browserify as well. So it's not just like it's old and outdated. It's definitely a really good tool. And Webpack got a lot of attention. But I would say like this: like, Webpack is more frameworkery. It kind of takes care of most things for you by building a big config. Browserify is more like the minimal CLI tool that it has an API. Both of them have an API. But basically just a small tool, and then you plug in different transformations. Let's see if they have some example here. Anyhow, the reason I want to go with Webpack is that they have the Webpack server and hot reloader and all that kind of stuff that we'll hear about. I won't use hot reloading because I don't feel that I benefit that much from it right now. But the dev server is kind of, it's more intuitive than setting things up with Browserify and live reload. But I've done that too. And both of the alternatives suck. Man, I mean, it's terrible. I've gone through so many hoops just to get the stupid live reload thing to work, and like it's a documentation issue. It's not that the technology is bad. So we're just choosing our poison here and going with Webpack. And I'm super glad that Webpack and Browserify are out there. So I have no beef with those products, and understand that documentation is tricky. So you can't just say that you are going to write docs, and then you write the docs, and then it's over. It's something that lives, and depending on who's reading the documentation, you will have different views on if the documentation sucks or if they're great. And my view is that the documentation often is like non-explanatory, so you just set stuff up, but you lose control. And usually that's true for nearly all frameworks. Okay, so here we go. CD code, CD labs, front-end prototype base. I have some stuff there. We need to add it first. There you see my hardcore skills. Okay, I'm lost. Let's just my traits. You see my real Git skills. I just learn what I need to learn with Git. Let's see if I can see the logs. Maybe it's just a new file, but I forgot to commit it. So that one, yeah, untracked files. It was on the untracked files anyhow. So then it's not an issue. Okay, git commits. As I said, I won't do any messages. And some people will hate me for it, but hate on. I'll just take out your hate and forward it to my setup of building tools. So, where to start? I think we should start with let's do a real. Let's just make this work here, npm setup. And what I mean, this will be an ongoing thing, so it's not just taking it off directly here, but oh, I don't even have. Is that true? Cool. I really thought we had node modules as well. Okay. I've done some coding meanwhile, so I mix up the codings. Okay, so I'll just add that before I forget it. Oh, font size. Oh, it became smaller. That's the opposite of larger, which I want. Yeah. I'm hitting plus. Sometimes when you have a Swedish keyboard, most like editors and stuff just doesn't let you use any short commands because everybody should use an American keyboard apparently. But that's okay. I tried to get an American keyboard actually, so I wouldn't have this issue. Is that large enough? No, it's not. Okay. I hate it when it wraps like that. Okay. So, npm. What's npm you say? npm. Basically, now when I run npm init, we will just set up a package.json file. So it's just some kind of JSON file, whatever it is, and it's asking us now to just set the name, version. I would actually say that the version should be like 0.1.0, depending on how you think about Semver, because I'm not following Semver right now. But it's a philosophical question, so If you're unsure, just learn Semver and start at 1.0.0. Sure. And this is cool. If you set up your Git with your GitHub account in the right way, you see that it will find that automatically. Usually author as well, I think. I don't know why that didn't get there. So now we have a package.json, and it looks like this. Cool, huh? Okay. So now that we have our package.json, we can use npm as a package management system for JavaScript files and install stuff. So we can do npm I or install, but I is the shorthand. And then we can use --save or -s. And then install stuff like React. And React, you need to have React on as well. And we will use Babel CLI. No, we won't. I'm cutting some corners here. Babel core, Webpack. Oh, you can't see that, right? Here we go. Webpack, dev server. And then we need a lot of plugins. The basic idea with plugins is like with Browserify, that said that you only have a small core and then you use transforms, and you need to kind of download the transforms. And same thing with Babel or Babel and Webpack. You kind of need to download a whole shitload of plugins and stuff to set things up. And I actually think that that's a good, but that's a good idea, because it makes the maintenance and version handling and all that icky stuff that you don't think about easier for contributors and maintainers. If it's a smaller product, it's easier to move faster, and then you just have a solid API for the plugins to work with. The bad thing is, I mean, look at this. Would you remember this after installing it once and trying to do it just in your head second time? So basically, we will use documentation just to get started, even though I did this like a couple of days ago. It's not that intuitive. So here on the Webpack GitHub.io docs, should have some like getting started. And here's a small getting started with like the HTML file and like the JS file. And they will kind of tell you how to get up quickly, but once you get up quickly, you're not setting things up in the best way, and neither will I. So we will work with it continuously to improve our Webpack setup. No description. Okay, so this is just a warning about that I should have a description inside my file. We can actually do that. That's a good description. Hangouts. It's not. Yeah. Hope I can do that. True. Let's see if that works. I think you can set private. We'll see later on. It's just a warning anyhow. Private true, so you can't commit it to the npm registry yourself. I think it's private true. So we'll see that later. Okay. Going back to Visual Studio Code. the normal structure that I see people do using npm use is like you have your source, and we have our index.html from last time, and we can add new file here. Instead of entry.js, I'll call it index.js. And index is the same thing with index.html. It's your default file in that folder. So each folder can have one index.js file. And then we need to add it here as a script tag, like FRC, I think. Ooh. And we will actually copy this HTML file to another file, and then we will bundle the index.js file. So here we will reference bundle.js. Right now, I won't find any bundle.js, but that's something that we will fix. And and inside here, we can just do like some Webpack. Woo! Wouldn't that be cool if this worked? Okay, so. Oh, and you see here? Since we don't have Webpack installed with -g, as in global, we only have it locally. So then we have to do like node modules.bin, and here you have all the different binary commands that you can run with your projects. And we have Webpack, and we're in the root folder, so we need to go to src index.js and move it or bundle it in another place, but for now we'll just go bundle.js. I think you can do just like that, and we should do it. Nah, okay, anyhow. Let's see. Here's the bundle.js, and you see, lots of stuff, but here's our hello Webpack. So it freaking works. Excellent. We'll remove it. And usually, I've used like a folder named this view or build, but usually people call it lib. So src and lib are more the standard folders. So let's go with that. I'm skipping some stuff here. See, we don't need the first load. Oh, and this is something that's terrible. Require like this will screw you up. Try to avoid it. I don't like that syntax at all. Okay, you can use it once. I prefer if you just use the normal way of writing requires, and then you use this here in a Webpack config file. But you can do it. I revoke my statement that it will screw you up. You can do that, but it's not good. Because you will write it everywhere instead of once. And instead of having configuration in a configuration file, you have it inline, and inline is almost never good. Here, first config file. So we make a new file in our root called webpack.config.js. I think you can use JSON and also YAML, if I remember. Also remember something with setting up Babel that you can do like this, and then you can have a ES6 style config as well. But that's later. So for now, we'll just do it like this. And we haven't seen this style before. This is like Node backend style of the common JS, it's called. And basically it just means that when someone imports the file named webpack config.js, it will get some kind of object back. Yeah, this object. So another file, meaning somewhere in webpack, they will do something like var config equals require. And here the path to webpack.config. And usually you can leave the .js. It will only be like that. Then you will get an empty object back. So we need some kind of entry point, and the meaning with entry point is before bundling, we use glob patterns describing how to get like in my folder src, get every file that ends with .js, and then you concatenate all those files. But then you need some kind of concatenation order and all that stuff. So now with Browserify and Webpack and similar tools, we just get one entry point. If you don't want many bundles, of course, you can use many entry points. But you choose one entry point, and every file required by that entry file will also be concatenated in the right order, because you specify the order by requiring it. If that doesn't make sense, if you don't follow, that's a part of programming, actually. You'll catch it up eventually. I bet that like 50% or more of what I say don't make any sense the first time around. But there's no idea for me to just go on with the theory without showing the practical things as well. So you will kind of feel stupid a lot of times, and so will I. Actually, I think I can do just like lib. Let's try it at least. File name bundle.u. Yes. Okay, so now I have that part, and I don't need any CSS loading right now. So let's see here. Instead of doing this here with node module stuff, because that might actually screw up the // stuff, and but we'll go in here and do the npm stuff, where we want, yeah, let's leave, and we'll make a build command, our own script, and here we just do web. And later we will also have a watch. Web. So just preparing that. Actually, start. Since this is a static website, we will never run this in production. We'll just copy the file, so we can use the start command for development. Start and test are commands that are I just hope that you hear me. I see that I have another. Yeah, it looks like you should hear me. Lost track. And now start and test taken by like a reserved script words by npm. Build is a custom one, so we run in different ways. So let's try here. npm run build. Looks like it went okay. Here's lid. We have bundle, but we don't have HTML. So until we learn how to do this with Webpack, we'll make a build copy. And here I want to copy Firebase and index.html. So CP. If you're using Windows or want cross-platform compatibility, you can always there's always some kind of npm script which you can install and run instead. But I will run with the bash stuff. So CP for copy, and I will copy the HTML, and I will copy it to copy it to lib, and then it will be named the same thing as I think same like that way or something. And now it will be named index.html if I remember correctly. And we'll also copy Firebase JSON. That's also in SRC, of course. And we'll put that also in. Okay. So now I can do build with Webpack and npm run build. Copy. Now you write run when it's your custom scripts. If it's an npm script that's like npm already has the script like start and test and npm init and all that stuff, you don't need a run command. And now we will. Oh, and I forgot to say, you don't have to write the node modules /bin/webpack because it knows where to look for those .bin files, since it's node modules is the npm folder. So that's really a convenient way to write your own scripts here. It's also good to write scripts because then you can do npm run or open this file, of course. But npm run, you'll see all the scripts that are available. So it's a handy way of showing like your interface, your contract of what can you do with this project. And it's just look at scripts, and you should find out what you can do with it. If you just have a bunch of scripts in some folder somewhere, other programmers need to figure out what folder to look for your scripts. Okay, so let's see now. npm run node. Great, so now we have the files. Reveal and Finder. Hello, Webpack. Size. Let's see here. I didn't jump to the right file. Here we go. So here we have our code. So nothing amazing yet. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. But taking these baby steps are really important. I'm actually kind of rushing ahead anyhow. But if you don't get patient and try to do like just copy paste everything and be done with it, you will lose control over your build tools so fast. And good luck like having a webpack.config with like hundreds of files, lines of code, and you don't even understand entry and output. I mean, it's terrible. You won't understand a thing. And here we go, development server. Already did that one. So I guess we can show it right now. Start Webpack Dev Server. So if I go, run the command first, when start. Oh, since we named webpack.config.js, the default name, we don't need to specify the config. It will find it. You should really not use config default stuff. But sorry for that. So here I can go to lib, and we're inside here. You can also go to Webpack Dev Server here, lib, and I also get the same file here. I think I can also go like index.html. No. I'm gonna do it here. Oh yeah. Look. Okay, so, and this is really annoying because yeah, I need to show this. Webpack dev server lib / that and index.html. That also works. And as you saw before, I could also go here and get here. It's not the same thing. And that was something that really, really messed me up because now, hopefully, if this works, should be watching. No, I don't want to. Okay. So let's say that I change something here. So I'll just, yeah, open up. Hello, Webpack. You want to emphasize it a bit. And it reloads. But look, where's, I don't know, different. Anyhow, let's do it dots because I can say dot in English. So, okay, where's the dots? We don't get the dots. Let's see if this works. Of course it didn't work. I was so hoping that would work. Wait a minute. There might be another issue. Since it's so hard to explain, but anyhow, you can either get the files from your hard drive or from memory. Webpack Dev Server tries to serve the stuff from memory, but if you don't, if Webpack Dev Server doesn't find the file in memory, it goes back to the drive and tries to find it there instead, and then you get the old result here, which has console log hello Webpack. So I don't know if I can change it there and then like reload it here. Yeah. So the problem here is that we're not getting the right, like we get the reload, and that's what we really want, especially on the front end. Oh, on the back end as well. You always want the reload experience where you change something, you press save, and the system updates itself. And let's see. How to use the... I want to find something with the... There's some flag, and I don't remember how to find it, so I'll actually try and look at my own code. Let's do it from here. Hope that I did the RJS. I haven't pushed that up yet. That sucks. Okay, let's go do some. CD dot dots. Alright, CS. Working on a client here, so dot. If you were to do what I'm doing now, you know, have a project that works, and then you would have to just Google around and find stuff. And we will use the bubble loader, so I can just take note of that. But inside here, you want content-based, lib, and inline. I can just take note of information. So in our package JSON, the content base tells us where like it should start serving, like the root folder where the Webpack dev server should start providing files. So content base lib basically means that if you go to the root of the Webpack dev server in your browser, it will serve from lib without you writing Webpack dev server /lib. Again, inline is so you get a script inline, so you get the watch the automatic reload. And let's see how that works. And to be honest, this is kind of like I tried to show stuff before and it didn't give me the results I wanted. So let's see if this does. Then go and start. Localhost. Now we go to /index.html. And let's quit. And we go to C. Some dots, reloads. Again. Okay, so now it's working. And go here. I won't even try to explain that because that seriously didn't work a couple of days ago, I think. Maybe I had something like with the content base not set correctly. Okay, I can't be mad at Webpack now then because it works as expected. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Cool, yeah. I'm the fool here, I guess. But so now we have live reload, and this is really, really cool. Like, in a second. Oh yeah, we didn't start. Okay, so data. Maybe text, maybe title. We'll see. Oh, I need to copy. This is one thing that since index.html isn't being watched, I'm clicking everywhere. I actually need to run npm build first. Then I could go back to npm start. I usually also have another command, so let's, just to be safe. I want the latest one, I don't know if it overwrites or not, so here I'll add another build. Build clean, and it will just do rf remove recursively and forcefully the lib directory and make their lib build clean, and let's see how that works out. Inside. Oh, so there's actually something that works with npm build, but I had to do run. So that was probably it. We can check it here. Yes, that's correct. Let's see. Oh, then it works. Hello. So now we have vanilla JavaScript in place. And explaining a bit here, document is the document object model. It works in the browser and corresponds to kind of the API of working with the HTML. So document, see something named documents there. And query selector is where you do some CSS rule. So if we want to select body, we get our body element. And just shell might work. Element maybe. Oh, I like never do this. Seem to work. Let's see if we have an empty div. There we go. Empty div. Okay. So I won't go into the vanilla stuff because we will be using Rack as well. But you will use the query selector anyhow, now that we should set up for React. And what I want to do is kind of get the same result that we have here already, but we need some kind of entry point for React. And you remember that nothing will happen live now since I don't have any live copying of HTML, and we will fix that. But I don't think we will fix that today. Okay, so this will be our entry point for React, and in here we'll have the actual HTML stuff. And let's just comment this out for now. Bit tidy here at least. Go. And now we want to include React somehow. Now, we could either use React with JSX, so we can kind of write HTML, or use JavaScript the normal way. But if I would send you out and like, let's learn React, and go here, follow the instructions to see that if I have larger, you'd see that they use JSX here. And that will be a bit messy. So in the future, I will try to teach how you actually do it without JSX, but I haven't done it that much myself either. So yeah, I have to go through that myself. For now, all you need to know that is that we will fix Babel as well, and writing Babels instead of var React, use a big one, right? Yeah. Equals require React. We will write it like import React from React, like so. And the import doesn't really fly because we don't have Babel. We need to transpile it from this style to that style. And then we need code that actually has some notion of the function required and all that stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff that happens through Babel. Yes. And you can set it up with the CLI, but that's mostly for the backend. So my plan was to show without Webpack to start with, and then do only Babel, and then go and transition to Webpack. But it turns out that if you want to do it on the front end, Babel themselves just basically documents that you should use Browserify or Babel or something else to take care of the front end specific needs. So that means that we need to be here. And okay, so let's try and Google on this. How to get Babel up. Babel Webpack. Let's see what we get. And how will you know that you need the Babel loader at all? I mean, so basically, if I've done this before, I know that we need a Babel loader, and dash loader means it's Webpack specific. It's a plugin for Webpack. And we installed Babel Core already, and we need Babel reset ES 2015, because you can have a lot of different ways of transpiling the code. I also think that we need the React thing here. So let's start here. And meanwhile, let's check the other projects so I can see in the cheat sheet. Yeah, Babel preset racks. That wasn't listed. Oh, I should write the help of the documentation. Babel loader docs. Okay, so maybe I can do a pull request later. Anyhow, we can go back here. Sorry. Yes. And there's a reason why I'm not using SaveDev, and that's because there's no point on doing save and SaveDev. SaveDev depends on like in which mode you run Node. So Node modules, if you use production, there's an environment flag, a bunch of stuff you need to know. To begin with, just skip the SaveDev, or you might run into different issues that you don't understand that just slows you down. Because the benefits of using SaveDev are kind of minuscule. And if SaveDev does impact your performance somehow, you need to know why and how and all that stuff, and then you will use SaveDev because you know what it means. And if you don't know what it means, just use dash capital S or dash dash save. Worst case scenario, someone will yell at you like, why aren't you using SaveDev? And then you just ask like, why should I? And they can explain it for you. And then you will learn, and then you will just transition. It's not a hard transition. Okay. Now we have our first loader over here, our first plugin. And we'll put it in here. And regular expression here. I don't use ESX, so, and I don't use Bower components, and you should not use Bower yourself. And Babel loader, because the name is Babel-loader, not Babel. So implicit stuff is terrible. And, yeah, I think that's it. Am I ready to try this now? I'm not using React yet, so let's aim for. I will fix the squiggly lines as well. And smallest possible thing is just to render out something with JSX. We can make it a div as thing. And there we go. Documents. Query selector. You can see as well. Data dash. Okay, so data dash is a namespace in HTML, so you can put stuff in X dash or data dash and just make up your own attributes, and it will be valid HTML5 stuff. Some old browsers wanted to have like that, but screw the old browsers. That's not your issue. Not when you're learning and just building stuff. That's a terrible thing to try to think about old things not breaking when you're trying to learn new cool things. So don't spend lots of time being backwards compatible, because there's no point. In 5 years, who knows if you even need that knowledge. So you're just learning stuff that you can be able to forget later on anyhow. Okay, so we're kind of set here, I think. Okay. Do we have an appropriate loader? Okay. Houston, we have an issue here. Is there something I need to say? Oh, and note that I'm actually including this last. So if I had it before, like, inside the head here, then I wouldn't find the data-active because it's not loaded yet. So my script runs too early. Table loader. Maybe I'll compare to the old one, save some time here. And, yeah, that's something. Quick is because the Swedish keyboard plus is in the same place as its dash in American. Okay, we shouldn't need to use CLI. Here's the core. The loader. Missed that somehow. And I'll also install ESLint and ESLint plugin React, so I'll just copy those, save some time. That shouldn't be in there. Okay, that's not project, but anyhow. 50. Okay. Oh, I have a bit of okay. I run npm install without any commands. Presets. I don't have that. Shouldn't I have it here? Variable presets. Maybe I forgot something. DS 2015. Yeah. There we go. I guess it doesn't run anyhow. Yeah, Or no, I have those React ones. Maybe I need to set some other stuff for the front end. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Just to make it more apparent for you that it's the same level loader. Order doesn't matter, but let's. Oh, why not? Copy, paste. Okay, there we go. And let's see here. Corp, loader. Reset this. 15. React. That's stuff we don't need yet, at least. Dev server. So that should work. I'll throw that in here as well, because that's. I'll explain what this does later. The pasting isn't going on. Wow. Isn't. New file. .csv.c. Yes. I'll reboot this stuff. But we should have everything we need now. I'm kind of freaking out a bit. I think I need to that. Oh yeah, and we need the React because we're using V6. Oh, there might actually be one thing I'm missing here. I need to check the React, or I can check my other project as well. That goes faster, so I don't waste too much of your time. I think I might need to import a bit differently. There I actually have React. And use single. Okay, it works. That's the wrong project. That's why it works. Uh, okay. Hallelujah. Okay. Boom. Here we go. And does this work? Yes, it does. So now we have the setup here. And I'm actually gonna cut it there because we lost so much, or I lost so much tempo, but I just want to explain that ESLint is a linting tool, which means that if I, here you see, quotes some number which means error, or warning, or just be quiet, and some value, which means quotes, I should get a warning, error if I don't use any single quotes. So if you use normal quotes, see here, bar, we get a warning. Strings must use single quotes. Okay. It is defined but never used. Identify name X is too short. So yeah. And if I do like get a warning that it's not used and it's not defined. Okay, so there we go. We have our React project up and ready to go. And moving forward, we'll begin structuring the application a bit with the component-based structure. Oh, let's also see, before we end this, that I can actually do a Firebase deploy. Firebase open. That still doesn't. Oh, ha ha ha! It was right, of course. Okay. And now that we're built to the file system, let's try that again. And it didn't work. Ah, there, it did work. Okay. Whew. Sometimes I love it. Oh, it's on the wrong screen. No, you didn't even see that. Okay, yeah. So here we go. It's live. Okay, so we're back, and yeah, I committed code, and I also pressed CMDQ instead of WV, and shut down the whole stream. But anyhow, we have a setup, and I'm actually gonna cut it short there anyhow. So done for this time. I'll make another stream like once a month about that, if I don't have these kind of like moments where where I really have free time to do more than one stream. So basically one each month, and then I might be able to prepare a bit more and also do more like longer sessions. But if you're watching this, I really feel for you. Good job. There's probably better ways to learn. But one way that would be better for you to learn more about this stuff is to actually join me and code together, because then you struggle the way I struggle instead, and you learn by doing, not just watching. And that's what I actually want to do. I don't need like 100,000 viewers. I need like 1 to 6 participators, so we can communicate and have that bi-directional communication, because that is what I feel like our community is missing. Okay, so no pics this time. I kind of destroyed everything anyhow when I shut down the stream, so I don't even know if this goes well with the rest of the stream or becomes its entirely own stream, whatever. But peace out, and see you next time. Cheers.